Okay, guys, today's 7 Days podcast, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read news and rumors and discuss. So let's begin this 7 Days podcast.
Glorious. No, I won't give in till I'm victorious. And I will defend.
Now you're probably wondering, why am I going to do news and rumors? Why am I going to read news and rumors? Well, mainly because I honestly have nothing to talk about this week. Nothing at all regarding wrestling or anything else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go read some news, and I'm going to read some news about WWE asking fans' opinions about TNA airing on the WWE Network. I'm going to read something like a news article about AJ Styles getting robbed, and a lot more. Or like Anthem changing the name of TNA. News shits. A lot of news reports and articles within the past couple of minutes as I'm recording this early in the morning on Friday, January 20th, 2017. Now, before I begin, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe, share, and also share the video. Also, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Link is in the description. And Universe Mode video I uploaded yesterday. The links should be in the description box below. Annotation on the screen, whatever, or on the card top right of your screen. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. So we're gonna start with AJ Styles getting robbed at a WWE live event. According to Kate 8 out of Jonesboro, Arkansas, WWE champion AJ Styles was robbed during this Monday night's WWE live event at the convention center. According to the report, the thief stole $1,000 and $7,000 in Japanese yen, as well as an iPhone, a small screen TV, and an Xbox 360, 6 Xbox 360 games, and a set of Beats headphones. The report noted that their requests for more information to be released were denied by Arkansas State University Police, as the case is still under investigation. That really sucks for a guy like AJ Styles, a gamer like AJ Styles, like us. AJ Styles is, if you don't know, he's like us. He's a gamer. You can go watch his interviews during that 2K17, I guess press conference or something. I don't know. Like go like there should be YouTube videos like Chris Dank Ops and maybe Pulse or Adam Pacitti or Wall Culture for that matter. All those guys that did interviews. Austin Creed was there and Goldberg was there. Sasha Banks, Charlotte, The Miz, Maurice. All those people were there. Shit like that. Like AJ Styles, talked about him having some old arcade games or maybe the arcade machines and shit. So AJ Styles is a gamer like us, and it's sad that, when you have something you care about gone, I mean, yeah, sure, you could buy it back, but that feeling where you got something taken from you, you want that shit back, basically. Alright, so I'm going to read to you guys TNA news. Anthem Sports changes the name of the company. What's the story? Anthem Sports, the new owners of TNA Impact Wrestling, has officially dropped TNA from the company's name. It will now go solely by the name Impact Wrestling. In case you didn't know, Anthem Sports, the group behind the Fight Network, purchased an 85% majority stake in TNA earlier in January 2017. The TNA's future has been up in the air before that, which previous owner Dixie Carter and Billy Corgan locked in a legal dispute over money loaned by Corgan to Carter to keep the company in business. Now that Anthem Sports own the company, they are trying to push the promotion in their own direction. The heart of the matter, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling started out in 2002 as the brainchild of Jerry and Jeff Jarrett. The TNA Impact brand has always strived to become the solid number 2 promotion behind WWE in the United States, but for a number of reasons it has struggled to be that standout competitor at the top of the wrestling tree. It would seem now that Anthem Sports has decided that the conation, shit, I can't pronounce the word, of the TNA name are something that they want to move away from. With them now just looking to use Impact Wrestling as the title of the company, this should be the start of a new era of the company, so to speak. What's next? Anthem Sports has made a big splash to take over what will now be known as Impact Wrestling. With the dropping of the name TNA, it looks like they will be aiming to stamp their own identity on the company and will be looking to use Jeff Jarrett again in some kind of a creative or backstage capacity. Having held their TV tapings the last couple of weeks, which will be seen on TV in the coming months, Anthem will be looking to get this new branding out there as soon as possible. Now, to me, I honestly think, you know, they should make TNA go live. I get it, and they should also, you know, travel. But I get it, you know, it's a lot of money to travel and a lot of money to, you know, go live. You know, I learned that from the Monday Night War documentary when WWE was taping Monday Night Raw back in '93 because they couldn't really afford to go live every week. So I understand that, but come on now, you need to go live. TNA needs to go live every week. Get rid of Matthews and Pope. They're awful. Go to different venues, man. Be like Ring of Honor. Go to different places. And that's all I ask. I'm pretty sure Anthem Sports can freaking cover that. But I digress. Okay? So now, I'm at WrestlingRumors.net. And we're going to talk about WWE asking fans' opinions about TNA airing on the network, which I found bullshit. It is survey time with the WWE Network about to turn 3 years old in February. It's time to start expanding the content provided. With so much of WWE's content already available, the only solution is to bring in more content from around the wrestling world. While there are several promotions around the world to pick from, a recent WWE survey lists a few interesting possibilities. According to PWInsider.com, a survey recently sent out its UK fans. WWE is seeking interest in the following promotion as well as possible pricing on the tickets to future events: Progress Wrestling, WCBW World Culture Pro Wrestling, IPW International Pro Wrestling United Kingdom, PCW, TNA Impact Wrestling, All-Star Wrestling UK, New Generation Wrestling, Revolution Pro Wrestling, Future Shock Wrestling, Preston City Wrestling, ICW Insane Championship Wrestling. The interesting note is TNA, which WWE has no real connection to, and also almost never mentioned whatsoever. They're barely mentioned on any WWE event, including Hall of Fame inductions. ICW isn't a surprise, as WWE seemed to have put together a deal to air their content on the network. Anytime there's more wrestling available, it's a good thing. The WWE Network, especially in the last week with the UK title tournament, is capable of airing a lot of wrestling that you would never see otherwise. How cool would it be to have another section that isn't under WWE's control and lets you see what else is out there while still under the WWE banner? So yeah, that'd be cool. If there's any promotion I want to be under WWE's belt, would be TNA for me. Maybe World Culture Pro Wrestling too, but TNA, I'm mostly looking forward into that. But yeah, man, I still find this bullshit. I hope it's a rumor. There's no way WWE's mentioning TNA or asking the fans about TNA. I don't think so. Okay, so there's also another news article about Kenny Omega reacting to WWE pulling YouTube video about him. And I saw the video. Seth Rollins mentioned Kenny Omega maybe, you know, leaving to Japan and go to Ring of Honor, come to the Royal Rumble, you know, go to the Royal Rumble match. You know, Seth Rollins knows what's good. He knows what's going on, you know. He's not like these other people fucking try to hide it and try to, like, not talk about it. He knows what's going on. When he mentioned it, I was shocked. And then I look back at the video that they re-uploaded. They took out the freaking Seth Rollins mentioning it, which is dumb. Because they asked, who do you want to see in the Royal Rumble match? Who do you want to see a surprise entrant? That would be that is an answer that Seth Rollins gave, which which is basically in the lines of that question. He answered the question how it's supposed to be answered. Who you want to see a surprise entrant? Kenny Omega. Done deal. Alright, so on Thursday, WWE posted, which was yesterday, WWE posted a video where they asked their superstars who would they like to see be a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble match, and Seth Rollins' answer was Kenny Omega. Shortly after the video was published, WWE decided to pull it and re-upload it without the Kenny Omega and mention. Later on Thursday, Omega did an interview with Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, where he reacted to WWE pulling the video that mentioned him and his free agency, where he said that he heavily leaning towards signing with one promotion over. And okay, this is what he said. Okay, I'm gonna read this. Okay. Alright, here we go. I really don't feel like I'm at liberty to say anything because there's really no details to share. I'm just a free man, and I thought I'd just sit around and do nothing and bide my time and exercise my options to wait and negotiate. Since I've decided to take a couple of bookings, and I haven't really decided one way or another what I'm going to do. I am leaning more so in one direction than another. But that doesn't mean that things can't turn around at a moment's notice. It's really what's on the table and what I feel will make a difference for me career-wise. Like I said before on the Taz show, this isn't a who's gonna outbid the other guy kind of thing. It's not that at all. I'm still young, I'm still healthy, and I just wanna make a difference in the wrestling world. Oh, trust me, I think you are. If you're getting people to talk about you, people in WWE to talk about you, bruh, you're doing something, bruh. You're doing something. You got the attention of a lot of people, alright? Especially with that match with Okada, which was not best match of the year, or best match of the century, or best match whatever. I just think, to me, I think it's just a great match. It might be match of the year, but not best match ever. Okay, no, I'm not gonna go that far. Hell no. Anyways, Kenny Omega's deal with New Japan Pro Wrestling doesn't expire until the 31st, which is legit about 10-11 days from now, so he won't be able to appear in the Rumble, which makes sense, unless of course WWE is able to work something out with NJPW, which I highly doubt. I'm pretty sure New Japan is still butthurt, after what they did last year. Anderson, Gallows, AJ, and Nakamura. So yeah, man. Whew. How much time do I have left? It's only 13 minutes. Holy shit. Alright, so I got something here about Kenny Omega. Gee, I just read Kenny Omega, for fuck's sake. I don't know why I'm gonna read this, but okay. This is from thesun.co.uk. Big man's game, Conor McGregor in WWE. Bray Wyatt joins Randy Orton in slamming UFC ace. It's a big man's game. He'd be better suited with the cruiserweights. Okay, I guess a lot of people are just giving Conor McGregor shit. There we go. Orton, an on-screen member of the Wyatt family, has a pops at McGregor's over the past few months, following on from McGregor's comments last he slapped the head off the entire WWE roster back in August. Okay. Is it one of those fucking articles where I have to click and then go next and shit? Do I have to do that? Do I really have to do that? Can I just go down and just... Okay. Alright. Speaking this event ahead of the Rumble in 2 weeks' time, Wyatt said McGregor would only be suited in WWE with their smaller cruiserweight division called 205 Live because of its 205 weight limit. Conor McGregor has been slamming WWE stars. Bray Wyatt has had some choice words for Conor McGregor. Randy Orton says, quote, "If he gains 120 pounds, I'm here. Until then, 205 Live, bro." Wyatt echoed Orton's jibes shit at McGregor by saying it's a big man's game. He would be better suited to a 5 Live. On his relationship with Orton, who together recently lost their tag team titles to American Alpha, Wyatt said, "Me and Randy click. I think we learned from each other. He's a legend. He's a legend, and he's a legend killer. We formed a bond that I think will last forever. We've had failure together, and we've had success together. But I think we both helped each other, and we've helped reinvent one another." Yeah, it's kind of true. Basically, what they're saying is that Conor McGregor is nothing. He's a cheese. He's just garbage. He would be in the cruiserweights if he ever went to WWE. That's just their thought. Alright, moving on. We got a story about Finn Balor is very close to return from injury. Let's read it from the Rolling Stone. If you know where that's from, leave comments. Jack Swagger, I really hate you. Alright, when Seth Rollins powerbombed Finn Balor onto the ringside barricade during his Universal Championship match at SummerSlam, which was horrendous, the fabric of WWE's plans for the future tore open as easily as Balor's labrum did. Since joining the company back in 2014, Balor has always had superstardom bookmarked for him, and between NXT and his WWE debut, his explosive debut, the booking had always followed suit. Not only was he the longest reigning NXT champion, I should say, but he also earned his spot in the first ever Universal Championship match by winning 2 matches in one night, including a clean win over Roman Reigns. That's probably my favorite Monday Night Raw of all time in 2016. When his, besides me going to Raw, of course, when his shoulder busted open in a freak accident, WWE's carefully crafted plans for the second part of 2016 and presumably the first few months of this year were thrown into flux. Now, 5 months into a 4 to 6 month recovery period, the Beta Club leader is set to return to action shortly, and he will be returning into a Raw program as desperately needs a double knee stomp of excitement. Basically saying that Baylor needs to get back now, ASAP. No Rocky, he needs to be back right now. You think Monday Night Raw is bad? It might be decent once Finn Balor gets back. Alright, the most pressing question right now is about the actual date of his return. As it is January, it's customary to think that any big returns will occur at the Royal Rumble, which takes place on the 29th, which is legit 9 days from today in San Antonio in the Alamo Dome. Yeah, in San Antonio, Texas. Man, that's going to be a lit event. I can't wait for that stuff. Given that a good chunk of Balor's appeal comes from his elaborate Demon King, I really hate that, by the way, Demon King's entrance, seeing him return at the Rumble would be a perfect combination of hype and substance. But is he ready? All along in his recovery, Balor has stated that WrestleMania is his realistic goal, and while that might be a swerve to goad fans into thinking he won't come back to at the Alamo Dome, it is peculiar that Balor hasn't faded away from the WWE's conscience. Just this past weekend, he made an appearance at the UK Championship Tournament, and while suits cover up all sorts of injuries, he didn't look like someone who was a month or 2 away from returning. Returning at the Rumble also gives Balor and the WWE an organic way to set up his big WrestleMania match, whether it be by getting underhandedly eliminated by his future heel opponent, or by winning the whole damn thing in order to reclaim the Universal title that he never lost. The most logical path for a massive Balor return is pretty simple: have Reigns beat Kevin Owens for the Universal title at the Royal Rumble, and then have Balor win the Royal Rumble match for a shot at the belt. This puts the biggest real life heel in the company, Reigns, up against the fans' choice for his true successor as the top storyline babyface. Predicting a Roman Reigns heel turn has become so played out that it's almost cool again. But having the massive Samoan come face to face with the Demon at the biggest show of all is a good step up as any. Of course, if that seems too predictable, there are two other options to mull over: a different Samoan and a dead man. Samoa Joe has been long rumored to make a massive splash on the main roster. Recent reports stated that it might be an even bigger debut than expected, given WWE's general acknowledgement of NXT continuing. There might not be a better way to both re-debut Balor and bring up Joe than to have the latter attack the former at either the Royal Rumble or in build-up of WrestleMania. The two have never had a truly classic match, despite an NXT feud that lasted almost half a year. But there's definitely potential there. Plus, Samoa Joe is the only person to ever cleanly defeat Balor in his Demon King persona, which opens up the possibility of every outcome. On the other hand, if you truly want to get Balor with casual fans, why not face him off with The Undertaker? Now that word has gone out that the dead man will not be facing Cena at Mania. A plethora of opponents have come into play for him in what surely must be one of his last big matches. Why not use that mystique to give Balor a star power rub, win or lose, that he can carry into a summer of redemption at the head of the Raw brand? Because if there's one thing Raw needs right now, it's excitement and direction. Holy shit, there's still more to read. I don't think I have that much time. Let me see if I can get it. Not a fucking thing's loading for some reason. Let's be blunt. Raw's characters have not been very likable. Aside from Sami Zayn, his blessed heart, all of the main babyfaces on Raw are either despised Reigns, part-time Goldberg, or they just haven't got over the way WWE expected, except Rollins. Unlike SmackDown Live, which has strong heels and faces at the top, the most over people on Raw are Kevin Owens, Jericho's list. Enter the Demon King. Balor oozes babyface swagger, and while he is not the best at doing promos, his entrance and moveset can do most of the work. Not only that, but because the Demon King persona allows him to go tweener when needed, he can really face off with anyone, face or heel. Given that WWE was already pushing him to the moon prior to his injury, and the fact that said injury was a freak accident that wasn't his fault, it would be shocking if Balor wasn't immediately elevated to the main event status he was set for in August. Having Balor at the top face on Raw also has a financial benefit for the WWE as merchandise machine waiting to be revved up. Face paint and masks for the kids, Balor Club shirts for the adults. It's a win-win. And if Balor has worked on mic skills during his time away from the ring, it could be perfect confluence of right place, right time, right guy. The age of Demon King is now nigh for Raw, and it might just be the tonic that it has needed since the brand split. I have read that so bad, but basically saying if Balor gets back now, then WrestleMania might be looking good, and Monday Night Raw will finally be decent. So that is it. That's all the news. You guys can leave a like, subscribe. I might put the news articles in the description box below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the 7 Days Podcast. I am out. Kurt Angle, Hall of Famer Mickey James, return to WWE. I'm out. Later.